Finally happened.
Frankly, that's
what are we looking at here? Let me check the WoW head. Is it? Have we got video? What do we got? The new raid is here. Where are we going? Let me go to the WoW head. The Ghosts of Karesh. All right, we got a video. So if it's purpley and midnighty, this is the last raid of the expansion. Okay, we can gather that. Oh, it's a sit down. Oh, here we go. Looks like Tazavesh. Worms. Checkers.
Hello, everyone, and welcome
Hi,
to
Bethany.
WoWcast. Today, we're going to talk about the next major content update, Ghosts of Karesh. To help us uncover what's in store, I'm joined by two developers who helped bring Karesh to life. Please introduce yourselves.
I'm Drew D'Souza, and I'm a lead encounter
What up, Drew?
I'm Steph Yoon. I'm an associate lead quest designer, and I was also the point on this content.
First things first, what is Karesh and why now?
So Karesh isn't a new term to us. You know, way back in Burning Crusade, we first heard about
shit. Has anybody ever heard of Karesh before? We first heard about them when we met the Ethereals in Netherstorm. I don't know. Sure.
And when we met the Ethereals in Netherstorm, and you know, they told
I was
us
definitely
tales
paying attention
of
to the
Karesh,
story back then.
A beautiful
100%.
arid home
I was
world
invested.
for the Ethereals until Demensius the All-Devouring came
I've killed
and
him.
consumed their world soul.
I
So
think.
we helped the Ethereals get revenge
Isn't he
in
one of the
Netherstorm,
dungeons?
and we thought the matter was finished. And for the first time here in Ghosts of Karesh, we'll be stepping foot on what's remaining of that planet.
Ooh, we're going
this
space!
shattered, void-touched land. Because we've heard that evil forces are trying to resurrect Demensius the All-Devouring. And if that happens, the Ethereals are toast. And then Azeroth will be next.
Yeah, that doesn't sound too good for us.
Bullshit. We're always going to win.
Try to stop
We're
Nemesis?
psychopaths.
You know, with a threat like this, it's all hands on deck. Within the last major content update, Illyria sort of took a step back and undermined.
She
But
did.
she'll be here front and center with her old mentor, Locust Walker, as he brings us to his old home planet. And the eager players among us...
Bro, it is really not overstated enough how much attacking Azeroth or threatening Azeroth in any way is just a bad idea. It is the murder hobo capital of the universe. It is such a stupid idea to come anywhere near Azeroth. We are literally like the most fucking guerrilla warfare motherfuckers. Anytime, if there's nobody attacking anything on Azeroth, we just kill each other relentlessly. It is a bloodbath down here. Do you think these pandas sitting on this bench are having a good time? No, that guy is drinking to depression because some fucking rogue murdered his whole family. Why? I don't know. See what it drops. Do you know what I mean? Just fucking butchered that guy's wife, his kids, his fucking dog, his cat, his budgie. Everything was taken from him. Fuck Cho. Like, everything. In World of Warcraft, there is nothing more dangerous than everything that's around you. Everything must burn.
I've
always.
already gone through the content.
That's
in
why
Legacy of
Sylvanas is my
Aerothor,
queen. Burn
where
that
there is
fucker.
a feature called Lore Walking, which gives hints to sort of the content that's coming up here in Ghosts of Karesh. In there, we learned that Venari and the brokers are interested in helping. Not only that, they brought their entire city, Tazavesh, the Veiled Market, from the Shadowlands.
All right. First of all, I didn't mean to pause it when it says Shadowlands. I apologize for anybody I might have upset. Call your therapist. It's going to be okay. Are they actually going to do something good with Tazavesh? Because the dungeon was great, but they had nowhere near enough secrets and shit in it. Nowhere near enough secrets and stuff like that. That thing should have been wacky. Do you reckon they're going to do something funky with Tazavesh? There should have been some really wacky shit you could do inside Tazavesh. That would have been dope. Shadowlands are back, baby. Watch the video. Fuck you. I want the theories. Oh, you've all seen it.
And placed
Nerds.
it here right in Karesh. So we'll be able to use that as a home base.
Oh, we Dalaran
We're
it.
going to
Okay.
gather as much help as we can so that we can face Demensius in the raid Manaforge Omega.
I'm excited.
Manaforge Omega. Omega mentioned. FF14 crossover confirmed. Omega mentioned. Manaforge Omega. Oh, are we Omega lulling already? Okay. Let me message Scripe. Scripe. Dear Scripe. I have just seen the name of the new raid Work must begin immediately on an Omega lull display for the raid. There we go. Sorted.
Excited to see Venari. I know a lot of other people are too. You mentioned the raid. Can you tell us more about that, Drew?
Absolutely, there's a lot to talk about. So our raid in Ghosts of Karesh is Manaforge Omega.
Okay.
It's a giant facility that's been built up on the planet to harvest cosmic
looks
energy.
like Tempest Keep.
We're going to be fighting our way in and through it to take on Shadowguard's Ethereals, who are trying to revive Demensius.
Oh no. He's coming back, isn't he? It's Zymox round 3. It's happening again. Oh no. Oh no. It's happening again.
While we're in there, we'll face down with an army of Ethereals still being wrapped, the creature they're harvesting silk from, and even a mysterious council of demon hunters that have found their way onto Karesh. Oh, and of course, it's going to end with
Demon
a
Hunter
cosmic level
Council.
battle with Demensius, who is the biggest raid boss we've ever made.
Now that looks like a proper raid boss. Okay. Okay, that looks very Guild Wars FF14. He's a big old boy. Okay, okay, we're starting to put some scale in. I've only been asking for that for 12 years. Okay, good. We haven't had something like this for a while.
How big are we talking?
Like City of Stormwind sized?
City of Stormwind sized. Interesting. Are we going to divide the raid? City of Stormwind sized raid boss. He's huge. Yeah, how are we going to mechanically make this work? This makes me concerned about their animations and things like that, but I have to imagine we've got to probably go inside him, not in a non-consensual way. If he's City of Stormwind sized, I could see various phases taking part on different elements of the body. Interesting. I like the concept, but I should not legendary ring myself because we might get gallywixed. He's City of Stormwind sized, but he's only got one mechanic, and it's a soak. And that's it.
What?
Yeah.
Do you have any examples of boss mechanics in the raid?
One thing I think is
Bethany.
really cool is actually our intro. Like I mentioned, this is a giant like mana intake facility, and we're actually going to come in through the pipe where they've taken the mana.
We're coming in through the
actually going
pipe.
to utilize a artifact cloak we're introducing in Ghosts of Karesh, the Reshii Wraps, to turn ourselves into energy and trick the filtration system. So our first boss encounter is against a warden that's overlooking these pipes, and we're going to need to go in and out of energy forms to survive.
I'm excited for my druid to have another artifact. So let's break down Reshii Wraps. What's the fantasy behind it?
Reshii Wraps.
We wanted to give the players an upgradable artifact that
Dude, the idea of like a legendary cloak is fucking sick. I can't believe they haven't thought of it till now. Clever.
had a visible component for transmogs, of course, because that's the true endgame of WoW, but didn't interfere with any tier sets. So the Reshii Wraps are an artifact cloak that helps us turn our bodies from corporeal into an energy form. You know, a very powerful person within the campaign helps us gather these ethereal artifacts and coalesces them into the Reshii Wraps. And it turns our bodies into energy form and basically allows us to see the world through the ethereal.
I could definitely see some good mechanical usage of this, having to change into ethereal form to either fight an ethereal version of the boss or to traverse mechanics. Very similar to what we would do in like an FF14 dungeon, you know, stepping on things, becoming ghost form, swapping backwards and forwards. Yeah, I could see this. Ultraxian style. Yeah, something like that. Sentry, Ultraxian, or perhaps passing through some sort of barrier to get inside the boss. I like the idea of messing around with energy, which is non-interactable with the mortal side. We could see a Halion style mechanic where we have to divide the raid between different forms and maybe swap in and out. Cool, cool. A lot of creative opportunities with this. I like it.
Eyes. With this, we'll be able to interface with an outdoor activity called Phasediving, which allows us to enter untethered space,
okay, so
which
there we
is
go.
an entirely different way to look at Karesh. It's an overlay that introduces new creatures, new objectives, new world quests, you know, new mechanics. And the cool thing about the Reshii Wraps, it sort of interfaces with so much content across Ghosts of Karesh.
It's not, man. This is a good door to do a load of different stuff. Depends how to use it, always. You can do a lot of cool shit with this.
Seeing the world in the eyes of Ethereal sounds really, really cool. You mentioned delves. What is the new delve coming to Ghosts of Karesh?
So we have a new delve coming in Ghosts of Karesh, and this is called the Archival Assault. It takes place in the Azure Vaults and Dragon Isles. You might be familiar with that place, but this time it's chock full of Ethereals, Ethereal pirates, some brokers, and they're plundering the place, and we're going to put a stop to that with our buddy Brand. You'll be able to take advantage of your Reshii Wrap to unlock.
How do you feel about using some old dungeons for delve purposes? I think that's a good source of creating regular delve content rather than having to, you know, design entirely brand new areas. I'm kind of okay with that. Yeah, I'm kind of okay with that. I like it for delve purposes. It's not like, here's a new dungeon and we're doing, you know, fucking Ragefire Chasm Mythic Plus or whatever. If it's for delves, which is something that's very quick and easy to do, utilizing old dungeon environments for that, I think is okay. Yeah, I'm totally fine with that. Yeah, I think that's okay. I mean, you can't make investing in brand new assets all the time for lower level content. I don't think it's worthwhile, especially when you've got such a dearth of content like WoW has over the last 20 years. When we're making a new zone, I don't like it, and I've commented that in the past, where it's like this is just reused shit from the past. But for something like delves, which is just, you know, farmable, spammy content, I'm fine with that.
Unique challenge gateways. They might have boss rushes or unique challenge rooms and need the cloak to access them. Additionally, we're doing a little bit of a social feature in here where...
Well, I don't know about that. A social feature. I don't know about that, dude. I'm starting to... My heart rate's fucking spiking.
Where you'll be able to see your friend's presence. They might be able to leave you messages.
We're Dark Soulsing? Okay. Finger butthole? Any finger buttholers? We're Dark Soulsing. All right. Yeah, we're Dark Soulsing. Okay. Like, please tell me, if they're not utilizing predetermined words for this, then they've missed a trick. By miles. If there's not just a pre-selected amount of words that you have to string together into a sentence, they have absolutely missed the whole point of doing this kind of thing. It's so funny. It's so funny, and it's just the creativity is through the charts. They need a pre-selected number of words that you can put in there.
You see their ghosts running around where they died, maybe.
What?
Yep.
So I can make fun of my friend dying in a certain place.
And speaking of dying, let's talk about our nemesis for this season.
Okay.
You might be familiar with her. Her name is Nexus Princess Kaiveza. You have unfinished business with her in Nearby. She's got a whole new bag of tricks for you. She's not going to hold back this time, and it's a 1v1 scenario, so buckle up.
That's so exciting. I loved her fight.
Thought experiment. Do you think a lot of players would gain a lot of confidence for raiding if they had delve versions of the raid bosses? Not the story mode shit where they don't do anything, right? Story mode doesn't do anything. If they had delve versions of the raid bosses that do the mechanics, but you get like vuln stacks or whatever, right? I mean, they're obviously, clearly they're borrowing a lot from 14 here, and there's nothing wrong with that at all before anybody gets all fucking, I'm sending you an email to preachdoesn'tgiveashit@gmail.com. Something like that where the Nemesis or something like that could be introduced to give you an idea of it. I think the barrier is social rather than mechanical. Yeah, try to look at a non-mythic perspective. Like, mythic is a whole different animal altogether. One of the most common things that I had over the years, obviously I don't do it as much anymore, but the feedback I had from a lot of people was just absolute, I guess that is social, fear of fucking up in front of other people. Which is one of the reasons people don't like doing multiplayer content in MMOs, especially one as, like, performance-driven as World of Warcraft. It's not the case that I don't think I can do it. It's if I do it wrong, I don't want to be, like, pointed at and laughed at by some fat English cunt and told I'm bad. Yeah, this is me. Yeah, it's one of the chief driving forces is the fear of fucking up.
Let's head back to the outdoor world. What can we do on Karesh?
Yeah, there's two major systems. The first one is called Ecological Succession.
I hope there's a currency.
When we met the Ethereals for the first time in Netherstorm, the two things that I noticed were their energy forms and their really cool ecodomes, right? These systems that allowed them to create biomes inside that didn't match what was outside. And here, basically, you'll be helping run one. Venari is trying to bring life back to those shredded parts of Karesh. And with that, she needs your help to fill it with animals and creatures that really thrive in the Karesh ecosystem. What this means is that she'll ask you to go back to previous zones, get animals, and experiment and see if they can survive in the Karesh ecosystem.
We're to go and collect animals and see if they die. Okay. The new system is to go collect animals around Azeroth and see if they die. We watched this awesome movie called Project X and took a lot of inspiration from that. It's going to be so good, dude. I hope one of the experiments is like, let's try this shampoo on this fucking monkey from Tanaan Jungle and see what happens. Let's just like start putting all these products all over them and see what happens. They're okay.
And then release them to create a thriving ecology. Think of it as like a void Jurassic Park where you're just sort of like trying to make sure that this beautiful place can thrive.
There is no fucking way they're going to let any of these animals die. Like, they're too cute, right? This is clearly to get pets and shit.
The other feature I want to talk about is Phasediving. I already mentioned it a little bit when I was talking about the Reshii Wraps, but it's basically an overlay across all of Karesh where you get to switch to energy form and enter untethered space to access a whole slew of new content. You can expect to see anything that you normally see in the outdoors, treasures, rares, lore objects, all that. But there's also things that are unique specifically to Phasediving. The features that I can talk about here is called Warrants, where you're going to be helping the Constable of Tazavesh hunt down notorious monsters.
I am looking forward to also building my own ecosystem. That sounds so cool.
Yeah.
Anything with animals, you got me sold.
They're going to die,
Earlier
Bethany.
We spoke about the new raid. What else is coming
to horrible,
season 3?
painful death.
Oh, there's a lot to talk about here.
All right, hit me up,
we
buddy.
have a new dungeon coming with Ghosts of Karesh. It's called Ecodome Aldani. It's very important to the Ethereals. It's a 3-boss dungeon. We're going to be fighting through Devourers, invading one of these places, eating some of the wildlife Steph talked about earlier. That's bad. We're also going to be fighting off a force of Wastelanders that have taken over this place. We're going to fight our way through and figure out why they want this place. One more note with this dungeon is it'll be immediately available on normal, heroic, and baseline mythic with the update on Ghosts of Karesh.
I think the really cool thing about Ecodome Aldani, too, is that the canonical route that the storyline takes place is the campaign, the raid, and then Ecodome Aldani. And that's not a thing that we do often, So I'm really looking forward to seeing how people react to this cadence.
Badly.
So what are the
They'll call it
dungeons
time
in the dungeon
game, even
pool?
if it's 10 minutes long.
Oh yeah, let's dive into that as well. Let's talk about the returning ones first. So we're going to head back to Revendreth
we're going back to
and visit our
Revendreth,
friends,
eh?
the Venthyr and the Halls of Atonement. So the next two,
I liked
like
Halls of
Steph
Atonement.
mentioned, Tazavesh is coming back. So we said Tazavesh should come back.
Of course.
That was a mega dungeon when it was first introduced, so we're going to break it in 2 pieces, of course.
I like the
We're going to
Revendreth
have
dungeon.
Tazavesh Streets of Wonder, where we're actually fighting
I
through
did
the
like it when they
markets and
changed them
bazaars
first
and
giant
streets of
enemies so you couldn't
Tazavesh,
outrage
chasing
them
down
anymore.
Salia. And then we'll have the second half, which is Salia's Gambit, where we're chasing through portals and eventually having our final
Those
showdown.
fucking Murlocs.
Tazavesh will also be returning as a mega dungeon experience in Ghosts of Karesh. Starting with Season 3, you'll be able to play it in hard mode as the baseline mythic difficulty. It'll have increased challenges, hard mode mechanics, and really awesome rewards. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, we also
Interesting.
had a community vote for the last 4. What were the winners?
Yeah, it was really cool to see what players' favorite dungeons were in the War Within, and the 4 that players chose were Operation Floodgate from Season 2, going back to punch some goblins, Priory of the Sacred Flame, just awesome Hollow
fan of
Fall
that one.
vibes throughout. And then we're going to round that out with 2 dungeons from Season 1 of The War Within, Arakara, City of Echoes, and the Dawnbreaker. Just quick note
Yeah, I
for
was
the
a
Season
huge
1
fan of
dungeons,
Priory. It
we
was
are
beautiful
going to take a pass,
inside,
on
but
the
gameplay-wise,
visuals,
wasn't a big fan.
the combat pacing.
Has anyone ever said their favorite dungeon was the flying one? I can't remember the fucking name now. It was the other Hollowfall one with on the fucking boats. Dawnbreaker. Yeah. Anybody ever said that was my absolute favorite dungeon? Literally no one. Like, it was a cool concept, but God, that got old really quick. Do you remember when it was bugged on the alpha? Some of you will remember, and it just fucking murdered you when the last boss started. It just murdered you in midair. Taliesin likes it. Okay.
The cast times, the number of abilities,
Got
even
my eye
to
on
make
you,
sure
Nick.
they're aligned with Season 2 dungeons.
Are there any other important notes for players to know about for Season 3?
Actually, not directly Season 3 related, but on the day of the update for Ghost of Karesh, you're going to have access to non-bountiful delves and all Season 3 dungeons for heroic and mythic, baseline mythic difficulties. That means there will be Season 3 tuning in there, but also Season 3 rewards. You can get yourself a head start. Of course, Mythic Plus and the raid will open the following week, but you should have plenty to sink your teeth into on day one. And oh yeah, one more thing. We've heard feedback for a long time now about how dungeon checkpointing works, especially in like Mythic Keystones where your timer's ticking down and whatnot. We're going to revisit our philosophy there on how long a run back is and when they unlock, and we actually want to visualize some of this in game through what we're calling waystones. So as you unlock checkpoints, you'll have an icon on your map, and you'll also have these.
We are playing WoW, right? This isn't FF. Just double checking. We are playing WoW right now, right? This isn't FF. I just want to make sure that we're on the right game at this point. Yeah, we're getting fucking proper checkpoints. Okay, all right. Hey, I'm happy. This is all good stuff, man. This is all grass is greener stuff. Happy days. Happy fucking days, dude. Hey, WoW plays best when it steals shit and does it better. Always been the case since 2004.
Stones that warp in and show you if I release, this is where I'm coming back. I don't want people asking that question anymore.
I do not want people asking. Shut the fuck up. That's what I want you to do. I want you to shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. I like that. I like this guy. What's it called? Drew? I want to meet Drew. Drew's awesome. Shut the fuck up.
That is so exciting because I can't remember for the life of me every checkpoint in a dungeon. So thank you guys. And what about class sets?
Yeah, there's new set bonuses to talk about as well. And
All right, let's make a judgment call here. Snap decision making. Bad, 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 bad. 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 Good. Good. That's what I'm going for. I like this one. Is this Warlock? Looks like Warlock.
Manaforge Omega, we're trying something different with the set bonuses.
Okay.
Up until now, they've been focused on your spec or your class. With this update, we're actually going to target your hero talents.
Ah, that's really clever. That's really clever. Because then it's borrowed power. But people will accept that from day one. That's actually very clever. I like that decision. That's good.
So in my case, I play an Arms Warrior, I play Colossus. I'll have bonuses targeting Demolish, but also have spec hooks if I'm like a Prot Warrior versus an Arms Warrior to make sure that they're still competitive. We got you on the spec level, but we're targeting hero talents.
Oh, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, and players can look forward to a lot of class updates as well. You know, a lot of talent updates for specs such as Brewmaster Monks and Unholy Death Knights. Now, along with Season 3's PvE content, there's also a new PvP season. There are several PvP talents that are being updated as well.
No one cares.
And for those of us who like outdoor world PvP, there is an entire island called Vanquisher's Wake.
I'll be avoiding that.
And I'll be there.
Yeah.
Of course you would.
Before we wrap up, what are you both most excited for in this update?
For me, I'd have to say it's Demensius.
Yeah, talk about the raid.
It's going to be a cosmic level encounter.
A cosmic level encounter. It's cosmic level. Like the Silver Surfer. It's a cosmic level
There's
encounter.
planets blowing up. It's awesome. Huge laser beams, you name it. Additionally, I think we have a really awesome dungeon pool this season. I'm excited for players to check out.
We're not going to talk about the raid at all. We got any
I am
details on the
also
raid?
really excited about Demensius. You know, like such a glow up from the blueberry that he was.
Motherfuckers, you cannot get me hype about your end boss ever again. I don't give a shit who it is. I don't care if it's Illidan swinging a Sargeras cock. I am not going to be excited about your end boss ever again. No. I don't care how much you try and sell me on it. Not happening.
Before.
Baby blueberry.
But the thing that I'm most excited about, we're in the War Within, and the War Within is part of the World Soul Saga, a trilogy of expansions that, you know, like interweave their story all throughout. And so the campaign and the story within Ghost of Karesh will matter so much more to the next expansion than it has ever done before.
Yeah, this is the lead into
looking forward
Midnight. Do you think we lose? Do you think we lose? I mean, the idea of Midnight is it's the darkest point in the story, right? Like, that's the point. It's the darkest before the dawn. Do you think we lose here? I mean, we're going to beat the boss and get loot. You know what I mean? Echo 100%. Got him. Yeah. I'm kind of thinking whatever the... I think something bad happens at the end of it. I think if I was to say what happens at the last boss is you kill Demensius, which releases Demensius' energy, and then through a portal, that big purple portal they showed earlier on, just an enormous purple toe appears and starts wriggling, and you're like, oh shit. And all you've done is empower Xalitos' feet. Just that's it. And she's now got to stomp on Stormwind. She's just got to fucking Xalitos the shit out of Stormwind. Boom. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, those wrigglers are going to come right through that and just fucking stomp on it. I do feel like genuinely though, I do feel like something bad is coming at the end of this. I would be surprised if we go into midnight on riding a high, because story-wise, we're doing pretty well right now in WoW. Everybody's like hunky-dory and, you know, people have dipped. We've lost the fucking Dark Heart or whatever the shit, that fucking MacGuffin, that thing's disappeared. But generally speaking, things are pretty good. Midnight indicates it's supposed to be the dark time, and then you would have, if you're doing a trilogy, you need to be in the dark time in the middle of the second act, right? And then the last Titan is going to be the victory, I would guess.
Players go through the campaign and absorb the story.
I'm excited for everything.
All right, so we got Mothra.
You guys have mentioned.
That's the dungeon.
That's Ghosts of Karesh.
Where's the raid bosses? Have we got any idea? Did they do a post thing? Let me check the old WoW Dizzle here. What's going on over there? Oh! How many bosses? Hang on. Whoa. A massive facility built upon the planet's harvest, the powers cosmic. Players will fight their way through. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 bosses again. Brother. 8 again. It's become this new standard. I don't know, man. They're really struggling to get a good difficulty curve with 8. A couple of midders there. A couple of midders. Just slotting in real nice here. 7. And the Soul Hunters is an optional encounter. Okay. It's not like 8, you know, it's not like having raid bosses for the sake of having raid bosses. It's just they've really been struggling to get a good difficulty curve with 8. They keep having these like bizarre jumps and peaks and troughs and difficulty instead of, you know, rounding it out. My fear with this, like I said in the past, is like I like a good 8 bosses, which are for the vast majority of players, and then a couple which are they can play around with, because unlikely you're going to kill Phasediving or whatever, like in the first few weeks with your normal raid guild. But we'll see. Doesn't mean it can't be done. Does not mean it can't be done. So we'll see. We'll see. Oh my boy, what in the fuck is happening here? That better be retractable and occasionally just pop out. What happened here? Okay, it takes a bad set to make Chris audibly laugh across the studio, right? It takes quite an effort to make somebody audibly laugh from across 2 rooms. Do you think they retract?
No, they just hang the chains.
I want them to just pop out on occasion at appropriate times. Just go, no, you know, like Hellraiser, Pinhead's chains or something?
It's a chainy tail, like a ponytail.
I get that, but I want them animated. I hope they droop. They go flaccid if your damage drops.
Give it the old L'Oreal.
They should. You know what they should do?
What?
Blizz. This, but it interacts with your rage bar. So when you have full rage, it's fully erect, and when you spend rage,
surely it's damage.
Damage is variable. I think you just do it with the rage bar, so that when you charge and you get a rage bone, it goes boing, and then when you spend it, you're like releasing that cum, right? Like you drop a rampage or whatever, it goes and it like goes floppy, and then when you get your rage back up, it fucking boings back up again because you're about to kick some ass. That's what I want this to do. I want this to interact with the rage bar constantly. It's based on your current pass. Can you imagine if they based it on your Mythic Plus score? We decided we didn't like people looking at other people's Mythic Plus scores, so we decided to put a visual indicator on top of your head related to your M Plus score for the season. Once you get Keystone Master, you're fully erect. Until then, you have a flaccid floppy hell. I'm mid-stroke, dude. I just need that one more fucking Revendreth dungeon. I just need the plus 15 Revendreth or whatever. And then I could get fully aroused. It would be amazing. It'd be so good. And they should do it for all of them. So, like, if you're playing... Who had the balls? Yeah. So if you're playing a priest or whatever, your Mythic Plus score determines the size of your balls. And these grow over time. You got a high M plus score, or you've got some raid kills, like your fucking balls just swell up. And by the end of the season or whatever, you've just got these massive juicy nuts strapped to your shoulders. I would love shit like that. Just proper big swollen nuts. Demensius is a big boy. The true scale of Demensius. It contains WoW's biggest boss ever in Omega, though the raw scale of the galactic-sized Void Lord is almost unfathomable. Is this his like actual scale but not in the raid? Because in the video, it showed the platform, right? He's not like that big in the platform. Oh god, I've been algorithmed immediately. Look, the bearded one is here. He stares. He looks into your soul. Yeah, there he is. Fucking glaring at me. The doctor is in. Yeah, we saw the room. Hold on.
So we helped the Ethereals get revenge in another storm, and we thought the matter was finished. And for the first time here in Ghosts of Karesh, we'll be stepping
That's where Zali's toes are going to come out at the end of this raid, by the way.
on what's remaining of that planet.
Was it way later? This is when they were showing the raid.
Harvesting silk from, and even a mysterious council of demon hunters that had found their way onto Karesh. Oh, and of course, it's going to end with a cosmic level battle with Demensius.
Ooh, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. This could be... I doubt this is Stormwind wide, which would be pretty funny. Unless they're planning to use the energy phase system for quick transport around like we would do with chains and teleporters and things. I'm trying not to hype myself up about this, but when they say cosmic level encounter, I do think door boss. Yeah, I'm not gonna overhype myself on this. I wonder if it'll be the first time since in a long time we'll see a natural environmental shift, like a proper one. Yeah, how do you... Okay, let's think about this logically, though. How do you get this scale over to the players? Because you don't want the raid being like a pinpoint here, right? So you're essentially like Alakir, where you're fighting its belly button for the entire fight. That's not fun. That's not fun. You don't want that. They could do something where you're fighting through cities and being destroyed and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm not going to overhype. We'll see. We'll see. Whatever will be, will be. How is this fight going to play out so I can limit my legendary ring? I don't care about the other bosses. I'll research them in my own time. He attempts to devour. So it is a Vor fight. Okay. He attempts to devour players almost immediately and again every time he reaches 100 energy. His growing hunger increases with each cast, pushing the player's collective gravity. So it makes you fat. Collective gravity. When two or more players with excess mass gather, they project a zone that reduces movement speed by 30% and grants a stack of collective gravity for each player within who has excess mass. Yeah, I can already foresee the memes during the race. It's the Peepo Fat Boss. Demensius can only vor players with less gravity than his growing hunger. Okay, so you keep your stacks below his fatness. All right, so we need to limit our calorie intake. All right. When Demensius' health is depleted, he collapses into the Dark Heart and pulls players in with him, where they must quickly fly with Zalatos to safety. What? What? Oh, so I wonder if the angle here is Zalituts helps us out, and then she yoinks the Dark Heart at the end. Got him. He releases his conquered rivals to halt players' advance and attempts to obliterate them with Extinction and Gamma Burst. Excuse me, I need to rearrange something. I've had an issue. All right, we're good. After a devastating counterattack from the players and Zalitos, Demensius begins to extinguish the stars. Demensius calls 8 void stars down around him over 10 seconds, each inflicting lol damage to all players, plus additional lol damage to players in 5 yards of the location. And they project a gravity well. Upon reaching 100 energy, he again attempts to vor everything around him, pulling his accretion disc. Hey, you leave your accretion disc where it belongs. Demensius' lost mass swirls and churns at the edge of the platform, inflicting shadow damage to players on contact and knocking them back. Okay, so that looks like area denial. Ever closer. All right, so it's going to constantly get smaller and smaller. Ever closer while supernova fills. Demensius initiates the death of a void star, causing it to explode after 5 seconds, inflicting lol cosmic damage to all players, reduced based on distance. Okay. A black hole appears in place of the void star and continues to orbit Demensius. This is going to be quite a... On the very basis of this brief overview here, this is going to be a race to the end. I do wonder, considering he can eat you and pull you out, if you have to send people into the Dark Heart. It looks that way. You have to get some people peepo fat. So it's got like a Nithendra approach, where you want to stagger people getting bored. I kind of hope I'm not invited to the Race to World first, because my commentary for a big peepo fat vor boss is not going to be clean. And I don't think you guys supporting me in my endeavors will be not memeing the fuck out of this boss. Not memeing the fuck out of this boss. Chris, can we do like a peepo fat Demensius display, maybe? Oh. I'm just this... You know what I picture? If we get like Slimer from Ghostbusters and make him purple. And then we just have Scripe and Roger and like Gingy and Mirez's heads all just being like gobbled up by this peepo fat fucking void boy. Like absolutely peepo fatting him. Nom, 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 nom. Just the gobbler. The absolute gobbler. Devour and extinguish stars inflict heavy damage to all players. So a very brief overview. We've got a full list of abilities. Yes, we do. Okay. I feel like the last... if they could get the DPS spacing on this correctly, this is going to be a badass ending, though.
Having you try not to cross the line during the fight will be peak entertainment.
Oh, I'll cross the line. I'm okay with it. Stage 2, the Dark Heart. Demensius hurls a fragment of broken world at players, inflicting cosmic damage to players caught in its path and stunning them. I wonder if that's like Sylvanus' lobbing mountains at you. It tears through space with an immense stream of radiation. All right, so he pisses radiation all over you. And pushes you back. All right, so there's a lot of knocking you away going on here. That could get frustrating. Mythic only ability. Demensius bends the laws of nature, applying either crushing gravity or inverse gravity to all players. Okay, so you have mixed debuffs. Crushing gravity after 5 seconds, intense gravity pushes down around the target, inflicting big cosmic damage and applying crushed to players around them. Feels like Gruul. The target is crushed, stunning them and inflicting cosmic damage every 1 second. Inverse gravity. After 5 seconds, intense gravity pushes outward from the target, inflicting cosmic damage and violently knocking away players. Hitting players who have crushing gravity. Oh my god. It's Star Augur. But they have to pinball each other. Oh, wow. This is Star Augur, and you're going to push players around. Oh, baby. And they're going to make this so you can't use add-ons for it. Eyes Weakor are coming in play. Yeah, this is going to be Star Augur, where you're also... How far do you knock them? Doesn't say, right? It just says within... It says violently knocking them away. So you got to see people pair up and then knock each other all over the place like a fucking... Like shaking some Skittles. They're going to go flying everywhere. That's going to look cool as fuck when it's done well. It's going to look really nice when it's done properly.
Hello, welcome back to Fat Boss TV. Today we're having a look at the second to last boss in Castle Nathria, the Stone Legion Generals.
Bring Alex back for a Fat Boss guide.
Alex will be already crushing notes on this. The Devoured Lords. Okay, so we got ads as well. Demensius releases his conquered rivals to halt the player's advance. So Eclipse the Void Lord. In Heroic and Mythic difficulty, Mass Ejection also leaves behind debris fields. With slows. Oh, yeah. Nullbinder on Heroic and Mythic. The Nullbinder weaves a dark pattern and binds all players with it, inflicting damage plus an additional damage and reducing that... Ooh, there's a lot of slows going on here. We're going to see a lot of Shammies, a lot of Evokers. Alright. Touch of Oblivion. And DKs. DKs are trolling. DKs are really happy right now. They're like, what slow effect? LOL! DK's got to be... Yeah, I was thinking the same, Joel. The DKs are going to be like, easy. 10 to 15 minute fight? No idea. No idea. This is gonna be a really... this looks like it's a lot of complex pattern work. You get Pargoth. What else? What does he do? He slows people by 50%. The Void Lords... so Nova's spells leave behind debris that slows you by 50%. You got a Void Warden, Nullbinders, and then Stage 3, the Singularity. Demensius instantly devours any player who enters his body for any reason, killing them horribly. They should have called that no consent. They should have called that non-consent, because it's just called Vor, clearly. Full tour confirmed. Oh, shit, dude. Yeah, no, enter this. Yeah, enter this. Oh my god, this is so many words for me to learn. Cosmic Fragility, Collapse. I'm just going to say debuffs. People understand debuffs. It looks like you get the pairing mechanic towards the end. Yeah, that pairing up Star Augur shit happens in the final phase. Check Destabilize. Demensius reels from Xalitos' devastating counterattack, increasing all damage taken by 200%. Ooh. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh, damage. Big damage window. Nom, 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 nom. We like damage windows. We like that very much. Alright. That looks fun. That looks fun. That looks fun. That looks like a very interesting last boss.